Yo, what up, YouTube? It's AMFG time. This is live AMFG time because fishbrah, aka Super Mario, is here in house with me. So, Tobes, you paying attention, or are you gonna watch it later?
Oh yeah, I'll watch it later.
Fine. Anyways, C3 Sicilian. This is all normal. This game ended with a blunder, so it's not too hard to AMFG. So this is all fine. He takes. Main move is to take back with the pawn, and I should really know this theory. Knight DB4. And everybody takes, but that's better for black, evidently. So you do this. And, yeah, with all these knights around your king, I'm always worried about tricks, but it doesn't look like there's any tricks. And then you just castle and you're fine. Kick the knights out. So that's good to know. Let me just look at that landing, and that was kind of interesting. Takes. And, yeah, knight DB4 is the main move. Knight B6. You're just going into endgame. Yeah, and this looks comfortable for white. It's more space. So okay, so this is an okay move. It's like equal. I think Ron Henley actually suggested this as a sidelines play once in a while to throw people off. But then of course taking here is bad because yeah, the king side is wrecked. And yeah, white doesn't have any development. These pawns are very bad. So yeah, the game ended quickly after that. If you're gonna do that, at least take here. Probably he'll trade queens, and this will be a worse endgame. Wasn't expecting by that much, but yeah, this is much worse. But so the idea of bishop takes knight is after here, you attack the queen, and so the queen goes back. Now you push, and you're still a little bit worse, but you have some compensation for being down a pawn. And his queen is out. You can develop your bishops quickly, but it doesn't look so hot. So for next time, after takes, yeah, just take back. And no matter what he does with this knight, or I suppose he can play e6, reasonable. You're just slightly better because you have more space, and this bishop's bad. So just remember that for next time. But anyway, in the game, he took with a knight, and after knight takes, I guess David saw this didn't look so hot, so he went here, but then just bishop takes, and queen's not hanging anymore. I guess the idea with this is you're hitting the queen. When the queen goes back, then you take this and escape the worst. But the problem is he made a threat. I mean, you made a threat, and then he made a stronger threat, and you have to deal with the stronger threat. Engine says it's so bad you just take the knight, but this is much more natural. But yeah, he still doesn't have to deal with this threat because he has the stronger threat of taking the rook with almost mate. And yeah, David didn't play on past this. So let's go back. Let's do all of them in one big AMFG. Let's see. The possible. Suppose this guy's he's always about my rating in Rapid. How high rated is this guy? Some German kid. He's what, like 17?
The FM.
Oh, and he's FM strength. That's cool. I have the same rating as FM. Okay, so David's black here. So he's playing either the Grunfeld or... Okay, he's playing the Grunfeld. I don't actually know this line very well. I thought about learning it, because it just looked more fun than the King's Indian, where you're d6ing and have to coordinate your pieces just right to get a king side attack or you get rolled over. So, oh, who taught you this? Carlos? Yo, David.
I just made it up.
No, I think Carlos taught you this. He plays this line.
Really?
I don't have too many comments yet. Again, I don't know the system very well.
I don't think bishop g4 is correct.
Bishop g4. Yeah, bishop g4 is actually has a really good score. Of course, these are elite chess games, not master games.
Whoa.
But main move is castles, knight b6. Yeah, bishop g4 is almost never played. But the engine doesn't hate it. Doesn't particularly like it though. I mean, yeah, you have to watch out like in the game, queen b3 moves, because like you're not defending this anymore. It's funny, everyone played what you played, but the engine really likes this. And then I guess the idea is you're like, oh yeah, knight d b4, and the queen is like kind of getting bullied. Oh, you can't go here right away because you're gonna probably lose both knights. So, interesting. This bishop doesn't have too much power now with the rook off here, and we're taking this with these kind of ideas. So, David, you should look at these lines. I mean, yeah, knight db6. I'm curious if this has ever reached this position in Grandmaster play. Probably not, I bet. But let's find out. Yeah, so I only have high-rated players and no bullet games. Let's look at the Masters database. And no, this has not been played, so we don't know what would have been played in Master games. But all the elite chess players, even 2,500 players, played knight b6, but knight c6 is interesting. Of course, black doesn't have to take this pawn. But yeah, oh yeah, knight c6, hitting this, threatening. Well, it's not really threatening to take, or is it? It is actually. Yeah, bishop takes, and then knight takes d5. Oh wait, it's not, because queen takes knight. So, but it's just more aggressive, and you're developing a piece rather than retreating a piece. So yeah, if white is to play e6, now the engine's saying knight c6, which seems more reasonable, but yeah. And white has to spend time always calculating whether he can get away with this. And if he can't, you might get his queen trapped, you might get your knight here. So even if you don't have it fully calculated, these type of knight c6 moves with like queen b3, it's kind of like a nice bluff. Anyway, let's go back to the game. So castle, queen here, knight b6. And yeah, white's starting to get like pretty big edge. Makes sense because black's not really attacking anything except this. He's kind of passive. But the engine still says everything is fine. E6 is not very aggressive, but I guess really where to put this bishop where it can't be harassed. Anyway, E3. And the engine doesn't like E5, although E5 is very natural if it works. And don't take back right away. Oh, so you... Yeah, David, why'd you run after the queen now? You, like, have to take back the pawn. So let's look at the engine line why this is not so good. Oh, because of this pawn here. So this is a 5-5 game. So it's understandable, but yeah, the bishop can just take this, and then the C and A pawns become weak. But what what's this guy's name in IRL, Tobes?
No idea.
Oh,
Garrett.
Garrett. Anyway, but what Garrett played is less good because it still looks like this pawn should hang. Why is this so much better? Let's look at this. Oh yeah, now the queen can take with the knight pawn. Anyway, we could go into just this position alone for a long time, but I do want to run through this. But I don't really understand why you wouldn't at least take the pawn back. Maybe David realized that the b7 pawn is hanging. But yeah, queen e7, and there's really no way you can defend this. Although you will have to give up one of your bishops. But okay, so David hits the queen, but the problem is, what are these knights really doing here? I mean, I guess one of them could go here, but then it'll get kicked with b3. Oh, maybe he thought after here, yeah, he's gonna get the pawn back. Bishop can take. I would probably be tempted to come back here and take with the pawn. Well, I guess the problem is this pawn's hanging. Yeah, engine doesn't really like taking this, but I assume he took it with a concrete idea to win this pawn back. Okay, this is I don't know, this just doesn't. Ah, what am I doing? Oh shoot, that's cool. I didn't even know that did that. I'd forgotten. I don't know. Rook b8 just seems like not the type of guy you want babysitting your pawn. Engine said just like don't worry about it for now. Play here. I think maybe c6. Anyway, um, the engine likes his move better than c6 anyway. So queen e7 still doesn't look like the end of the world. b3, yeah. So this was what I was afraid of when the knight went over here. It's kind of got not that much future. Okay, he takes. It's starting to look a little scary after bishop b2, though. You got to be careful here. So he goes back. The knight comes in this way. Yeah, all this stuff aimed at our king. I'm guessing like white took and then played queen b2. Let's see. Yeah, that's like the human move. Although the engine thinks that knight c5 is even stronger. Queen f6. Yeah, black's holding on here. Knight goes back. Yeah, it's hard because it's actually equal material, but yeah, the pressure here. White has the strong bishop. Black's king is a little less safe. And yeah, the knight comes back to a strong outpost. Sorry, I don't have too much commentary here. Oh yeah, and then after this, it's like pretty much over. Yeah, the black's pieces are just awkward, and even though this was not, it was just tactical blunder. It's still like it's just yeah, with this pawn coming, it's like a hard position to play. I'm not sure. Um, yeah, this is recommended, and then after this, okay, defending with tactical means, getting the queen out of the way. Obviously, you can't come back; it'll be taken, and you're coming back to a8 or c8 is pretty sad. Can't go forward or here. So yeah, this is a good tactical solution. These are type of moves. Some might argue like, okay, the game's +3 versus strong player. Like, it's like you screwed up the opening. It's not worth looking anymore. But I would disagree with them. I would say like, in a blitz game, even in a rapid game, like this type of move could save games. It's still +3, but now, and it still looks pretty bad, honestly. Like maybe after here, the knight still can't get into play this way. Oh yeah, actually you can. The queen's leading, of course. Although this still doesn't look so good. Is this a move? Knight d4. Yeah. Oh, you got to watch out with knights. And same thing I said earlier. White made a threat. Black had a stronger threat, hitting the queen. Then he's going to discover defense of his knight. So yeah, like yeah, Rook d8 is a great move, and I'm sure most people couldn't beat the computer in this type of position because the computer is just like defending very actively and aggressively. All right, let's move on to the next game. So Tobes, that one was much better than the first one. I found some like interesting inflection points. Where did I get that from? Does Chess Network say inflection points? All right, here we go. Perfect. We got another c3 Sicilian. Let's see how this one goes. Okay, so same as before. Knight f3 is usually played here first. Oh yeah, because bishop here he can just take, and then you're forced to go into this line. I suppose not. It's still fine for white. I'm not gonna claim I know all this theory, but yeah. Oh, maybe because of this right away. Oh yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, and then, I don't know, you just have less control over here. You have to maybe go into inferior lines.
Just play E5.
Huh?
Play E5.
Play e5 where?
Bishop E7, E5.
You mean e6?
Well,
Oh yeah, didn't you play this against that girl and there's like some tricks here? What do you do now?
no, you just take and play check maybe. Or yeah, go back.
No, 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 taking's gotta be horrible. Just gave up a pawn and he's like weak on light squares. You gotta the engine says do this. Anyway, but let's get into the actual game. Um so bishop c4, yeah, he does go back. Okay, so here engine likes queen e2. Or maybe even this makes some sense. I don't know. You're kind of letting him like develop for free though, because you like brought your bishop out, traded it. You went like here, then here, then here, but whatever, okay. Engine says it's still fine. Yeah, these are usually bad because now you've got isolated pawn. Yeah, they're never going to take like this. They're always going to push e6. Um, so instead, Engine likes queen e2. I guess the problem with castles is he can trade queens, although is that recommended castling before. And then if he takes, assume you take with a pawn. This looks fine. Okay, but anyway, take, yeah, e6. And they have an isolated pawn, and he's better developed. Oh yeah, why here? Like knight d2 is very non-standard. Yo, David, why'd you play knight d2 here?
Trying to protect my isolated pawn.
Oh yeah, well you can't worry about that. I think you have to like, he's not winning this anytime soon, and now you're like maybe threatening to go here and sack it, and he'll have the isolated pawn with his king in the center. Um, yeah, I don't know. You don't want to go passive with the isolated pawn. You have to attack. Yeah, yeah, this is way too passive. See what I mean? Because you don't have winning chances with like with an isolated pawn. You have to like be very aggressive. And see now you're being aggressive, but like all your pieces are like kind of passive. I don't know. Let me not be critical without suggesting a better plan. This
Maybe
is
knight
like
E4 was better.
this is pretty bad here. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, back here, yeah, 94. Although it's still pretty bad. Yeah, the engine's just like I don't care about the bishop. Well, actually, no, the engine told me to go here, but I kind of like this move too. Um, but yeah, so okay, where's the first? The first mistake was taking because you're giving yourself an Isolani for no reason. Oh, so yeah, that was the first mistake. And then after that, even though it's like engine says it's almost equal, I don't know. I wouldn't really want to play this as black so much. And then yeah, second mistake. Let's look at like what happens if knight c3. So castles. Oh, I guess after knight c3 is castling right away, so you don't have time for like any tricks like this. Bishop e3 is very passive. I don't see how he's winning this pawn like anytime soon. Oh, yeah, I don't really know what a plan is. But the engine's saying you're like almost fine. Oh, for a second I liked this. Now it's not liking that. Yeah, you can't take. Did the engine really like not realize this move? No, it's way too fast right now, unless my computer's that slow. Anyway, you just play rook c1, you try to play chess. But then after you have Isolani, it's a lot harder. And then this is like too passive. Let's see what happens. I'm like kind of rushing. But if anything like fundamentally changes. Yeah, blacks. Oh yeah, a5 is a good move. Yeah, these like a5 with like b6, it like dominates these type of knights. If he had to go back into the corner, it'd be pretty sad. And if he plays a4, it'd be sad. But black just goes after the king. And oh yeah, this is just way too passive. I mean, he's not really threatening anything yet. Like, okay, he comes here, he's threatening this pawn. I mean, I guess it looks a little scary if he like tucks his king over, brings his rooks over, but I don't know. You can't like preemptively panic. I mean, I think I see what you're doing. You're protecting this square. Maybe even going to bring your own queen here. So anyway, further criticism. Let me talk about what would have been better. I guess just don't panic and do this. And surprisingly, Black's only winning by a little bit. Let's see what happens if he tries to be aggressive. Oh yeah, all of a sudden you're like counterattacking. Yeah, he's nowhere close to winning this pawn, which is one good thing about this knight. Although the engine keeps suggesting a5, suggesting this knight is not so stable. Rook f7 seems passive. I would think this would be better. But oh, now all of a sudden the queen just starts getting aggressive. Interesting. This is a pin. Yeah, engine's just like all about aggression. But of course, it's easier to be aggressive when you can calculate like a zillion moves per second. But anyway, let's look. Okay, so let's look at what happened in the game. So the knight jumps back, which does keep the queen from coming in for now. Now Black's trying to swing over with his knight. Here is like highly recommended. Although that's more of a computer move because you would think like this bishop is really nice to attack with. And again, the engine keeps like switching to the queen side and just trying to dominate this knight. I guess there's no rush to attack. That's the nice thing about having a static advantage. Like the other guy's isolated pawn, you don't have to like kill him right away or risk losing. Like the king side's kind of weak, the queen side's weak. So anyway, that wasn't played. Instead, the knight's coming over. Yeah, the engine wants to play knight f3 back, but of course that's hard to do since you moved it over there. And now I assume the knight does come back. Okay. So it's like giving this up. And yeah, there's like a lot of weaknesses. Okay, finally a5. Alright, well this is like almost blitz 5-5, so it's really not over as long as there's tactics and knights and stuff. Okay, goes after a stray pawn. But that's just... it's not really a fork yet. Oh yeah, that too, I didn't see that. Now the engine's starting to like that even better than Motherland, I think. Oh yeah, it's just getting super tricky here. Oh, whoopsie. Oh, that's a nice mate. So yeah, you got the isolated pawn, and then you were too passive, and then you like moved this knight around quite a bit, and then you got mated. Was that helpful, Tobes? Huh?
Yeah, I mean, you gotta give alternate plans maybe,
Oh, alternate plans?
or like some GM games, maybe some.
Oh, fine. You want me to find some GM games? All right, I'll see if there's. I feel like already there might not be that many GM games from this
You
position.
told me to play E6 here, E7.
Oh yeah, see, there's no. Well, I'll look at some like high-rated Lee chess games. Oh yeah, E6 is the top move with the best score. Actually, scores better for white.
Leave Pressman plays this.
Yeah, I mean, I can see why black players wouldn't want to get involved. Although supposedly this is no big deal. They just play G6.
Then what?
Take first. I don't know. I guess white has nothing here. But yeah, bishop D6. Yeah, bishop D3 is this is kind of scary. I don't know. Is this bad? Oh yeah, that is bad. I mean, it's like equal, but black definitely doesn't want to castle this way. Well, the engine's saying just play here. Knight C3. Yeah, and I guess black's going to castle queenside, so he doesn't care about any H4, H5, scary business. And white still does have the isolated pawn. But I guess the main thing is like lead with the knight first, not the bishop. But the real like big mistake was taking. So yeah, next time don't take, just castle. But next time bring your knight to F3 first. And then the middle game, don't be too passive. Don't put your knights here and here. And yeah, at the very end.
Play the B file and the H file?
Well, I don't know if it's like knights on b3 are like notoriously bad, like b6 and b3. That's one of the c3 advantages is you get his knight over here. And like you saw, well, when you watch the video, you'll see like b6, a4. Yeah, this knight was like could have been kicked around. All right. Anyway, let me move on to the next one. So that's game 3. You played what, 5 games? Oh, my hair's crazy tonight. Okay, 1, 2. Third, I just looked at, and okay, Neo Grunfeld, and then we got one more Sicilian C3. So okay, David's black. Okay, so I don't think, yeah, I don't think he played G3 last time. So this is like a different Grunfeld. Yeah, the engine doesn't like this, and this just seems wrong. Like when they play this against you in the accelerated dragon, yeah, just knight f3, knight c3, that can't be good. Why, the engine even likes sacking a pawn here. Oh wait, it likes it for white, but it says it's the best move. No, yeah, after it doesn't say it's the best move. I mean, obviously takes has got to be the main line. So he took with a queen. Only tries c5 because this is, I guess the problem is, yeah, the knight hits the queen goes back, and then this pawn comes and hits the other knight. So this knight doesn't belong on c6. Okay, so yeah, you're playing this kind of like Scandinavian, but yeah, I don't know, it's not a Scandinavian. Scandinavian that's not supposed to be on c6, I don't think. Okay, and then this is a strange move. I guess you want to castle queenside, but I don't know. It just looks a little scary to have the knight here with like e4 and this coming. I don't know. This is like too much chaos for me. So I assume you castle queenside, yeah. But e4, yeah. And the queen can move off the rook file, but then like this threat is always going to be really annoying. And then your queen is kind of like stuck outside the pawns. It doesn't have a lot of moves. Um, okay, so David must have seen some tactic here. Oh, c5, I guess. Oh, but maybe just like knight back here hitting the queen. Maybe was that played? Yeah. So yeah, this is just like tactical problems here. So yeah, the other one was +3, and I said let's look at it. So I suppose we'll look a little longer. Just see if the computer has any like interesting defensive tries. Yeah, I mean David's making all the right moves and I like his pieces, but the problem is he's a piece down. So every trade, taking the open file and trading like only benefits white. But it's hard to like give suggestions. Yeah, and just like f5, but I think I'd also play h5. Oh, yeah, but there's a problem with h5, yeah, so that's why f5 had to be played. Yeah, although it's pretty bad for the knight anyway, but he can't escape. Okay, so I'm glad we looked a little further. So yeah, practically speaking, it says h5 is equal. That's strange. But practically speaking, f5 just doesn't lose a piece. Let's see what happens. Okay, oh, interesting. So, yeah, so interesting. The engine's not saying do this right away. It says just be patient. Knight d2. I don't really under. Oh, knight d2 hits the bishop. And now if we do this, I assume knight c3. So, yeah, very, very patient. Engine doesn't worry about taking material right away. But e2 he hits another piece, but then knight c3, and are we losing a piece? I assume that's what happened in the game. Oh, no, that's not what happens. Okay, so David's kind of, he's still a piece down, but he's doing better than before now. Sorry, let me look at that line again. Here, 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 here. Yeah, I don't know why he wouldn't have played knight c3. Well, I guess knight c3 takes here. Bishop is almost trapped though, right? Like knight d2. Oh, black's active, but how's this guy escaping? Oh, bishop h1. Interesting.
Knight takes
Where?
pawn.
Knight takes what pawn?
Well, I can't move.
Oh, here, yeah, knight takes pawn. You gotta like say the move in order. Oh, you can. It's pinned. Remember?
Yeah.
Um. Anyway, okay, so f5 would have been better. And then this happens. Again, I'm going kind of fast, but if I see something interesting, I'm going to try to go slow enough to notice any big blips in the radar. And if I see like interesting ideas myself. Yeah, I don't know, David. You're like fighting. Okay, yeah, this is obviously bad. You got to keep the knight out of here, and like you don't want to lock your bishop, so you got to take with the bishop. Up until this point, I think you were like defending pretty well. Yeah, now he's coming in with check. Oh yeah, that's obviously bad because now you have one piece, and it's like really bad. Um, huh. Oh yeah, yeah, this is horrible. Okay. All right, let's look at the last one. So, oh yeah, the main problem was in the opening with queen takes pawn. That was a mistake. All right, let's look at the last one. I haven't done any AMFGs for a while. If you're not David and you're just checking out my channel and watching this, let me know what you think. Okay, we got another C3 Sicilian. Pretty decent this line. Okay, yeah, again, don't play bishop C4, play knight F3 first. Oh yeah, but now you're just like getting into a bad endgame. Okay, I don't know what this is. What's the idea? I guess we'll find out. So E6 was played. That's an engine move. What would I play if I were black? Oh, he's threatening mate. Okay, so that's cute. So obviously you can't take. It's funny how bad defensively I am. It's been a long day. But I should notice fool's mate, shouldn't I? If I'm like supposed to be a chess educator. Anyway, okay, so that threatens mate, so E6 is very obvious. Now he takes back. Um, so it looks fine, although I don't know. I don't know if the queen should really be on the square. But should be fine for white. Oh no, you can't give him that pawn. You gotta go queen g3. You usually want to go queen g3 in these type of structures anyway with the bishop here, so you can like threaten this, defend this. Although it's like, I don't know, his knights can kind of get into your territory right away. Oh, and then yeah, h5. So yeah, these I noticed David, you like bringing your queen out early because you're a Scandinavian player, I guess, but it's like kind of risky. Anyway, engine says white's equal, but it looks a little annoying. Yeah, now it's saying less equal. And yeah, the queen's just kind of getting in the way here. So, but it's creative. It's creative. It's creative chess. It's like definitely getting the opponent outside their comfort zone. But objectively, it shouldn't be good. But yeah, at first I criticized this, but yeah, it's better than this because this is just like an end game where you have to suffer. Although the better player should win. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. This pawn just seems kind of far advanced, and yeah, black's developed already, so you should have a slight pull. Anyway, so this happens. E6 takes here. Oh yeah, and then just lost this pawn, and then this is that's aggressive. It's a little ambitious. Oh yeah, but there's this check. And this is not good. What does white have here? Bishop g4. Okay, f6 can't be played. Queen d4. Okay, yeah, this isn't so good. But, I get the move though. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. So, if the queen goes, before we can get this because the bishop would trade. Although I don't see why black has to come here. What about like this? This is horrible? Oh, yeah, yeah. White has threats of his own. Oh, look at that. And black has to give up the queen. Yeah, yeah. Again and again, I just see this type of like crazy aggressiveness, and this isn't check from the computer. So okay, here you go, David. This would have been interesting, even though the engine says it's still like worse for you. But after here, here, and yeah, it's still bad because you have to move your king. But you're not losing this pawn. Okay, so in the game, oops, pardon me. The game knight h3 was played, which does defend the pawn. Also, oh, here you go. You were actually winning here. Oh, now it's saying equal. And engine's of course patient as ever, unless there's like immediate wins, is just saying castle and black's crushing. But instead, after queen f3, when you played this move, queen c2, okay, just being fearless. And if black gets greedy, queen f3, maybe no. Just bishop takes d3, obvious. So this looks terrifying, right? But remember, if you take here, even if the bishop makes a discovery, excuse me, you're hitting the queen. So I assume he has nothing better than to just take, and you just want a piece, but it looks a little precarious. But white should be actually fine and winning. So okay, so bishop c2, is that played? Oh no, g4 looks a little scary because you're trapping your own queen here, and he can make more threats. And yeah, this is what happens. Ah, now you're winning again.
Huh?
Look at this. Bam.
What?
Isn't it? See, this is like what makes me want to study chess. Like, I mean, well, obviously I just want to be winning the whole time, but it's so nice when you're playing some aggressive player who like is good, but like they're not that good, and they just like crush you. But yeah, this is a beautiful move. Everything's hanging. Your queen's bad. You're about to get checkmated, but then rook d1 and you win. I mean, maybe you still don't win. This looks pretty scary, but oh yeah, here your trusty knight here is gonna take. Then your queen's gonna come back, and then you're gonna kill him. So so yeah, that would have won. Oh, did you play that? Wait, sorry, I'm losing track of myself. Okay, g4 here takes. Oh, queen d1. Oh, you did play that. Wait a minute. Why does it say black is victorious? Oh, you ran out of time, dude. Yo, David, you're a genius. You found the tactics. And you're
No, you just added those moves now in analysis mode.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty sure. There's no way I would have resigned there.
No, you didn't resign. You ran out of time. All right, sorry. I'm like running through.
Definitely did run out of time. It says 5 minutes left. On the bottom right, you can see the time.
Oh, you found this move. Yeah, this is the game, dude.
No, you added those moves.
No.
No, I resigned.
Look. I didn't add. Okay, this is not saved in a study. I probably should have saved it in. I should have saved it in a study since I'm making an AMFG.
Right.
Thanks for reminding me.
That means the game's over. You added those moves.
Oh, bishop f2. Oh, this was the end. Okay, so you didn't find rook d1. I mean bishop. Huh?
I resigned from a winning position, I guess.
No, it didn't say you resigned. It said white timed out.
No, that's not true.
But what are you saying? Lichess is lying?
No, I just stopped playing at this. We were just chatting.
Okay. So you basically resigned. Okay, isn't that interesting? You resigned in the winning position.
Yeah, it's called tragic comedy.
Tragic comedy. All right, Lichess and YouTube, thanks for watching.
Wow,
Hope you got something. I don't know. You're playing a blitz game. You're like, look at this. This is the type of thing that just makes everyone go into like defeat mode. But the engine doesn't have defeat mode. It's like brain is always firing at full tilt. So everyone go meditate and clear your minds and say Om, and then.
I thought it's forced made in one. I didn't see that.
Yeah, no, he's losing. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. See you next video.